Oh, hey. Hey, you know what today is? Today's range day. And we're going to take the Marlin Model 1894 and some ammunition that I put together, and we're going to head over to the American Shooting Center and see what works and what doesn't. Stick with us, it's going to be fun. Hi, George here, and welcome to Tales from Target Suite, where I'll share my perspective on guns and shooting, and we'll spend some time at the range, and every now and then we'll reconvene out in my shop back in Houston, or at the farm in Louisiana, where I'll build some fun projects and share an adventure or two that'll make even a grown man smile. And you know what, in today's video, we're going to revisit that optimize question about ammunition that I brought up a couple of weeks ago in a video about cast bullet diameter. And in that video, we established the fact, at least I think we did, that the .431 inch diameter 44 caliber bullet was going to be about the right size for my Marlin 1894. We had a couple of decent groups to indicate that, but they weren't that great, but they were at least usable. So today what we're going to do is we're going to shoot some hand loads that I put together, and we're going to investigate a broader range of loads to see if one of them will show some real potential for accuracy. I've got 5 different powder charges loaded up, and we're going to shoot 2 groups of each of those loads, and we'll see if there is a star among them. And if there is, we'll be in good shape. And if not, well, we'll go back to the drawing board. And here we are at the American Shooting Center. Now, just a little history. During Harvey, this place flooded. And even though the pro shop was up on a pretty tall hill, it was flooded. But let me just show you what they have done since I was here. And it's been a while. But now they've got a new pro shop under construction. Wow, check that out. So let me drop off here, and we'll reconvene at a shooting bench here in just a couple of minutes. Well, it'll be the snap of a finger YouTube time. Well, here we are. It's kind of a wet day at American Shooting Center. That's what happens when you build a range in the Addicks Reservoir. But we've got 4 of our 5 targets set up here, different loads for each target. I'm going to shoot 2 groups on each target. Each target represents a different load, and we'll see if we can get any kind of consistency, any kind of decent groups out of these 5. We're going to wind up with 5 different loads. I did shoot back here over my head on this right orange target to re-zero because I'd had the scope set taken off, and with that particular load, it's erratic all over the place. Is that a double entendre? Erratic all over the place? But anyway, we're going to shoot these and see what happens. We can only hope for the best, and let me get started. I'm going to start with the lightest load first. Wow, American Shooting Center really doesn't want you to miss that ceasefire, do they? Now, what did we learn while we were there? Well, I think first and foremost, we learned that accurate number 9, even though it's listed in the load tables in several manuals for Remington 44 Magnum in a rifle, is not the best choice from an accuracy perspective, because we had 3 of 4 groups that measured between 3 and 4 inches at 50 yards, and that's pretty atrocious. But we did have one standout group, if you can call it, that measured less than 2 inches. And the fact that I was loading on 0.2 of a grain increment means that we could come back and load 1/10 of a grain less and 1/10 of a grain more than this load, and we might be able to shrink these groups some. But again, I think it's the wrong powder. And so before we do any more optimization, I'm going to get my hands on some Winchester 296 or some H110, I think. If you've got any thoughts on that, please let me know in the comments, because I'm still fairly new at the 44 Magnum reloading. Oh yes, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So long.